Hello everyone, it's Peter Bom again here, Australian Motorcycle News with the video update from what happened here on the Saturday, the qualifying and the sprint race. I was going to say a lot, but the most interesting thing from the sprint race were just the two crashes. And I want to speak a little bit about the crashes. Mark crashes while leading, taking the lead. Sounds very silly, but it's easy, and it's Mark Marquez, you know, he always crashes. And he also knows I can afford to crash, so it's nothing drama, he's not in a crisis or anything, he's just there. The other crash was more interesting, Fabio Quartararo being in P4, qualifying on the front row, fighting with the Yamaha, which is such a really difficult bike, and it's such a joy to see him trying in Q1, then in Q2, and then fighting with everything he has in the first couple of the laps to get that P4. That was the max that was possible, and then sadly he lost it. So yeah, sad to see him crashing, but he's on the limit all the time. Mark shouldn't crash, but we know Mark and he can afford to crash. So yeah, that was basically, because I assume you've seen the rest. The good thing from the race was the Aprilia with Bezzecchi was winning, because Aprilia made such a good step over the whole year. We have 3 Aprilias in the top 10, and then obviously Marco Bezzecchi is the best. But it means that the bike has made a really good progress over the year, because where they are now, they were not in the beginning of the year. And I love it when I see that manufacturers during the year also keep improving and improving. So, and Marco just shows that if you give me something better, I go faster. You give me something better, I go faster. Which is not the same you can say for Jorge Martin. I have to be a little bit hard on Jorge Martin, because for me he's one like the downer of the weekend so far. Maybe tomorrow he wins it and then we see, but it's not like that. So no, it's not longer like I just started coming back yesterday. He has a really good package underneath him with a very fast guy behind him in the box, so all the data is there. For me it shows that, yeah, for sure he was the world champion last year and a true world champion, but the true champion to become a special rider in my book, you have to adapt pretty quickly if he gives you a whole different bike, which at the moment he fails to do. So yeah, that's it. And you know, Marco Bezzecchi had a difficult year in his second year on the Ducati when he could not adapt to a more difficult Ducati, and now he's good on the Aprilia. Means you give them something good, he goes fast, but it's not like he immediately realized how to do it. And not knowing how to do it is the same for Honda, but more KTM. I'm like disappointed in KTM. A couple of races, 3 in a row, they were quite good. We come to a track with more grip, but quite special track where the riders have to readjust, and only Acosta makes it, but also not like convincingly makes it. So that's good, but not very impressive. Tomorrow we have a whole different situation, because everybody was racing the soft rear tire that they use in qualifying. And typically Michelin, the rear tire is too good, or the front tire is definitely not in balance. And this track has crazy grip, so I see all sorts of adjustments on the bikes, trying to unload a little bit the rear to give the rear not too much grip, because it just pushes the front all the time, which is a weird situation. But it happens. Tomorrow everybody will be on the harder, let's call it the medium, but the harder rear tire for a lot longer race. I'm not going to say Fabio Quartararo is easily going to win it, but stuff like that can happen, because with another tire you have a completely different race. But we have to speak about you guys, Aussie riders, because you can not start to celebrate, but it was a really good Saturday. We have Kelso and Roulstone in P2 and P3, and both of them were all weekend good. Especially Kelso yesterday finished 2nd or 3rd or so completely there. Also, when they are alone, they do the good lap times. It's going to be a red race tomorrow because it's Moto3 and everything can and will happen. But these two guys showed a really good pace. And the thing I really want to cross my fingers for Jacob Roulstone, because 3 times this year he had a mechanical DNF, and at least 2 of the 3 times it happens when he was in a really good position. So cross my finger for Jacob Roulstone, but also for Kelso. Senna Agius in P7, looks to be back. P7 in Moto2, but only on 0. I have to check my notes. 0.2 of a second you're in P7 in Moto2. Good thing is, on this track you can overtake. So if he finds something this night, if he is just even a little bit better than somebody, you can stick it under and pass somebody here on this track. Last Aussie to speak about, Jack Miller, P14. Not great, but it's a Yamaha, and the Yamahas are not great here. So after Fabio Quartararo crashed, he was the fastest of the 3 other Yamahas that left, and that's all he can do. That's it. Tomorrow's race gonna be different. I hope it's a little bit more spectacular, and with a harder rear tire probably quite different. Cross our fingers. Check for watching. Bye.